Welcome to Global Reports once again on Liberty Television here in our Kaduna studios. I am Arthur Brooks. Welcome to our viewers in Nigeria, across West Africa, and welcome to our viewers across Nigeria, and welcome to our viewers watching live on the internet on Facebook and YouTube. As usual, we follow the trending and popular news stories from around the globe from the past week. Our guest this week includes the renowned scholar Professor Khalifa Dikwa, Malam Usman Bilal, and gentlemen, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Okay, let's start. This week globally, we see in Venezuela the return of the opposition leader, Nicolas Guido.
Juan Guido.
Juan Guido, I thought I got that wrong. Who has come back to Venezuela and so far hasn't been attacked by the sitting president. Let's watch this short report from BBC.
The eyes of the revolution are everywhere. President Maduro's militia still trying to keep the people in line. And in the town of Jare, locals queue to sign his petition against the US.
I apologize, that's an old video. We were supposed to share a report showing Juan Guido returning to Caracas. We will try and get that for you later. Prof, what do you think about the developments in Venezuela?
Okay, the return of Juan Guaido and has not been arrested so far. It was expected. It is really it was expected not to have been arrested. Why? Because in intelligence circle, when somebody is highly motivated with a lot of crowd behind him, even if it has a baggage in terms of crime and so on, even if he is a criminal, the security agencies will delay his arrest. It's just like having to arrest or take down a boss in a film. When the boss is gone, it means the film is ending.
So
therefore, again, Venezuela, I think, just like in other places, a failure of intelligence again.
You know what I expected to happen? Do you remember in the 80s when the Filipino president was overthrown?
Yes.
When the opposition leader Aquino came back.
Aquino, yes, came
the
back.
The president had a sniper shoot him on the steps of the aircraft.
And it can only aggravate the situation.
And what had happened there, if you remember, is the crowd, the people there brought the wife. The wife became the leader of the party.
It will bring more sentiments if you attack somebody like him. Anybody who has done, even if he has done wrong, and the authority comes after him. The way in the Nigerian politics, you know how Dino Melaya now came back.
Yes.
And he just all the theatrics he did and so on, playing the victim. Eventually, playing into the minds of the people. And yes, eventually climbing the trees and then refusing all the theatrics and so on. And it worked out for him. The same thing.
And last I will tip in on the situation about Venezuela. I think for now the Western world have to be careful with the situation there. They have to monitor situation. They don't have to be one-sided.
The bullying people.
Yes, because this opposition leader wants to claim to be the president now of Venezuela. And in fact, there was an election on which he did not participate.
He did not.
So
he did participated, but as a state, as a National Assembly member, as a speaker, not as a president. Therefore, he was not part of
you are not part of the election. Then you are outside the country. Then you say I'm the president now without being participating in the election. So
you can only be allowed to act for 3-6 months. The way when the president is not there. In our own case, when the president and vice president are not there, so the Senate president will act when the three of them are not there, the speaker of the... So in our own case, we created the post of a Senate president. It doesn't exist in America.
Because the Western
again, the Western world now, eventually, not only the rest are likely to, the entire world are likely to rebel against the dollar. And then the bullying aspect of America, it means the EU itself is now getting off the back of America's no longer a reliable ally, no longer a good senior, because the superpowers.
Yes.
And then America, Britain too is now having its own thing with the Labour and Conservative having rebels coming into the middle. They call themselves centrists. This is the oldest democracy in the world, apart from the Greek that created it. So it means a lot of horse trading within the Western American system, Western system, be it in the mother United Kingdom or Britain or even in America, and therefore it is going to be a serious thing, but the polarization of the politics is affecting the rest of the world. And therefore it has to do with the politics of dollar that has already exceeded its span. Normally it's 83 years. Every currency, no more than 83 years to be part of the main currency.
Okay.
So it ought to have been moved to either euro or other currencies. But America's bully as it has been there. And secondly, all the currencies are supposed to be printed. The bank notes are supposed to be printed based on gold standards.
Yeah.
American dollars is paper.
Yeah. Let me come back to the situation.
But coming back to Venezuela, I wonder if Maduro has his... He must have a tactic up his sleeve.
For 15, if they are unable to effect regime change in 15 days, it is no longer going to work. Eventually, they will have to sit down and negotiate.
Yeah, but Maduro's not been there 15. Maduro's been there for about 4 years or 5 years before Chavez.
Before Chavez, and they're coming back again. And within even Maduro, there is a split. They say he's no longer following the policies of Hugo Chavez, who was highly welfareist. All the money was going to Venezuelans. Just as recent as 2013, they were having the highest living standard, and suddenly everything collapsed.
I think it's the policy of their government. They operate their government. But for me, I want the Western world to back the president for now, so that
legally
to get peace in that country. Because if it explodes now, it will be a problem for those neighboring countries like Colombia. Now we don't expect Colombia to support Venezuela because their economy, Brazil also, all those countries are not able to support Venezuela because of the population. Now they are struggling, no food there now, people are starving, and the government there block the borders. You can no more get food stuff to the country. So they they need United Nations. In fact, need to intervene.
You punish the entire people for just because
one person.
You want to create a rebellion within in order to rise against him. How can they rise against him and remove him? Somebody in power. And secondly, Usman, the thing is, if they allow this thing to continue, it means one day there's no way America can challenge another country like China, Russia, and so on in Ukraine and say, okay, this is my candidate. This is my in Chechnya, in Tajikistan, so on. America will, Russia will say now, I would like, the former Soviet Union, I would like this man to be, this is my candidate in Afghanistan and so on. America will not have any moral right to challenge if such a thing happens, because they say democracy, you can't play it double.
In fact,
I know that, but I'm sure Putin also has an agenda to reformat the...
Putin is enjoying actually. He's enjoying because for tantalizing the American democracy, and they are still talking about the Russian intrusion into the electoral system in America. The mighty America being intruded. The mighty America being intruded technologically The mighty American being intruded in security was that is going back to 9/11. If America, New York, Pentagon, and so on could be so attacked without. So what was the police? America, that was the real police of the world, being now policed.
Every nation is spying on every nation.
In fact, it is unfortunate. It doesn't help.
What's the name? The German Chancellor.
The German Merkel on her phone.
Obama,
even on her phone, they were challenging. Today, the NSA, National Security Agency, the FBI, the CIA, the Pentagon, the DOJ, the Department of Justice, they are no longer talking with one voice.
No.
And they are standing there always challenging the president and so on. Again, it is already polarized, and it is going to be interesting for other countries now to sit back and say, wait a minute.
The Americans,
if the Western
Americans
system,
now, they've lost that supremacy.
They have lost. They pulled themselves out.
South Americans. If you go to Cuba, most of these South American countries that are no longer allied to America.
Exactly.
Because of the pressure they put on this South America. So now the South America, in fact, they want to align themselves with the Russians and even possibly the Chinese. So they've totally failed their grounds.
Usman, with the snubbing of America, of traditional allies like Britain.
That's mainly come about since Trump became.
Yes, with Trump.
Because,
and it is not going to be easy to reverse it, to now normalize it again, even after Trump.
Obama was trying to mend the
fences.
Yes, the fences with Cuba.
It is too late. They have already shot themselves in the foot.
Obama went there to negotiate with the former president that I think passed away.
But
Fidel
the thing
Castro.
is, America now is even within it's being divided.
Within itself.
So, you like me, you're always opposed to the Israelis having too much power.
Yes.
And this new representative who's a Muslim.
Yes.
She was challenging.
Is it how come that we are always together, but we cannot query the excesses of Israel? And they said this is anti-Semitism and so on.
That's caused a new.
And the same thing with nuclear power. You are talking about North Korea. You are talking about other countries, but you are not talking about Israel. Yeah. You would like to dismantle Iran, which is next door, and so on. Syria. You cannot talk. It means Americans themselves are now waking up. You said, why is it that this tiny Israel government is fighting its own citizens? The Jews themselves are now fighting everyone in the world, and nobody is checking it, and America cannot challenge it. Is it not the time for us to say
Israeli-Palestinian problem
exactly
is the roots of the
problems
in the Middle East?
It's more of politics and so on. Israel was created for convenience, as a third eye for America in particular, to have a third eye for the resources in the Middle East.
The American economy is being controlled by the Israelis.
And then also come the Jews, the Christians, and so on, the Muslims could have lived in peace without America playing the thing. By now, they will have had two countries living side by side.
Exactly.
Because Israel was created in 1947 out of Palestine. And then there's no problem to have two countries to live. Israeli citizens themselves are tired of always having to live with fear of attack from rockets from the Palestinians and so on. It's more of politics than religion. It's the same thing, more of politics, regional politics. You hear Iran and Saudi Arabia facing off and so on. I think eventually at the end of President Trump and so on, the world will now wake up to the realities that you cannot continue to police the world.
We've said this before. Trump's divisional, or what's the word?
Divisive
nature is actually maybe
a plus.
Indirectly.
Yes, a blessing.
A
blessing. Britain will never. I don't think Britain will follow America to change a regime anywhere again after the Libya's gaffe they did, the misadventure in Libya and so on.
misadventure in
spending billions of
Iraq,
pounds.
the misadventure
Exactly,
in Afghanistan.
all over and so on. America is going to be alone. They can only say verbally that we are together.
Yeah.
We are together, but indeed
Yeah,
they are
but
laughing behind the scene.
Let's look at our time. Let's move on. This weekend we have gubernatorial and State House of Reps, representatives elections here in Nigeria. What's your forecast, Prof?
Oh, it's not going to be a straight jacket thing. It's not going to be jacket because in 2015, they followed the wind of Buhari. Now with the Buhari already re-elected, each of them, as the Christians say, should carry his own cross. Should carry his own cross with the performance and so on.
Even Mr. President assured voters that you go there and vote for your choice.
For your choice.
Yes.
And therefore now they are out to remain in post, particularly those who are sitting, who are incumbents, and they are actually using the public resources in order to buy votes. And some of them, I just wrote also on my Facebook wall that some sitting governors have a hand in imposing weak opposition candidates for an easy ride. Because they can always buy those who are opinion leaders within the party, so that they will go for the weak with questionable character, with incapacity and with weaknesses and so on, so as to have real tags, real words in order to bash him in the
Professor,
campaign.
don't you think some of them will not go back?
No, they will not go. Eventually, if
some of them
votes,
will not go back.
if votes really count, there are some governors who are not going to back. And particularly, there are some in APC who are more terrible than the PDPs.
Of course.
Yeah, for sure.
And in the south, the south is Enugu is no go area for APC. For instance,
yeah, it's true.
Borno State is already like a finished game because it is one party, just like Enugu for PDP.
Kano also, I expect that.
Kano a lot of
escape through.
But I just expect, just like Kano, Kaduna, Bauchi, Kogi, and so on, there should be more security.
That the governor in Kano will
security
because
base.
the project he embarked on.
No, I'm referring to the security issue. We should have more security hands in Kano, Kaduna, and so on. They have polarized the system.
No, I will commend the commissioner of police in Kano State.
And Kaduna too.
Yes,
Kaduna too is doing a lot.
In Kano, and I witnessed most of the arrests being made by all these thugs. In fact, if you are a thug, you've been arrested, maybe Usman want to go there and say, okay, let me build thug A.
Very good, and you go in.
No, they
you also go in, and they started accusing him of being a drug addict.
Exactly. So he performed well in Kano. The presidential election here was free, nothing like violence, so everything went smoothly. Unlike that of Kaduna, on which we also expect violence, and it was free and fear, nothing like violence. We did not see any sort of violence here. But for me, what I expect now for this election coming, the government in place now, I think we need to put more security. Because this gubernatorial election is more fearful than that of the presidential.
It's more.
It's more.
And
some of this government failed, even Mr. President.
Yes, they failed.
Mr. President gave them bailout 3 times. They failed to pay salaries. They failed to pay salaries. So it's a blow to Mr. President. So Mr. President needs to
and Oyo and Ogun. These are the men. As APC,
they collected,
and they had more projects than even the North that gave its over 90% of votes. Yet they failed. Mr. President, Oyo was won by PDP, Ogun, the same thing, and so on. And again, Imo and Rochas Okorecha, they failed. APC did not make an inroad, and so on. And then.
Of course they
have already started talking about give the Senate seat to the southeast.
Yeah.
No.
You can't eat your cake and have it. There's nobody from the southeast and south who has been there in the Senate for long to qualify enough to give him the seat. But it is up to the party to decide.
I expect Ahmed Lawan to be our Senate.
No, the party should decide. They can always adjust the thing. From the northeast, all of them are qualified. Ahmed Lawan, Mohammed Dume is also qualified, and so on. There are many, and if they don't decide to give it to the southeast, south.
Well, gentlemen, I must blow the whistle.
Yes, the blow.
I don't want to give any red cards or yellow cards.
I just remember the whistle-blow system that went away quietly and eaten up by the judiciary. Nigeria should prosecute the judiciary, to police the police, in order to cleanse
to judge the judges and police the police.
Yes, and
the judiciary.
Thank you. That's thank you, gentlemen, for coming. Again, our time is up. I would like to thank our cameraman, the crew in the production units in the control room, and the Liberty Reports production crew. Thanks again to my guests. This is Arthur.
Stay out of trouble for the good election. Let it be peaceful. All of us, for the election that is coming on the 9th of March 2019.
Everybody, please, let's have some peace in Kaduna for the upcoming elections of the weekend.
All over.
Don't sell your votes.
Don't sell your vote. Keep watching Global Reports and keep watching Liberty Television.
It's not just about the individual news item, it's all about what's behind the news story. What went on before, now and after.
We report today not from Kaduna, Nigeria, but from Liverpool in the United Kingdom. Slavery Museum in Liverpool. Dr. Benjamin.
No personal attack on candidates.
Okay, thank you very much. Ray TV Liverpool. I'm here with Chris Kerr, who is one of the team that runs this remarkable little station.
My background is that I'd spent quite a lot of time working for Bernardo Television as a reporter and producer, and I had lived in Liverpool for most of my life, and I've had a very strong interest in doing something in the way of more local television, more than the regional service which Bernardo and the BBC offer.
This is Arthur Brooks signing off from Liberty Global Reports, and have a very good week. Thank you, Saidu, for coming on the programme.
My pleasure.
And please check out our Facebook page. This is Mohammed, my hooded editor.
This is Mohammed.
Mohammed, why are you wearing a hood? Are you a gangster?
Yes, he is.
Wow, canon.
This is Shamsuddin, chief editor for the news.
Yes, and this is Mr. Brooks. Mr. Brooks.
Yeah.
Mr. Brooks is who?
I don't know, who is he? Yakubu.
He's a very bad, good guy.
Each one is 500.
Whoa!
Just 500.
I thought it was like 59.
Wow.
Okay, I think
Special
I can
discount.
do 2 for Good night.
Good night. This is the studio. This is where I work on a Wednesday afternoon for my show. This is my news desk. This is me at my news desk. We'll swing around, we see the lights and the cameras. And Aliyu, my cameraman. Aliyu! Are you chief cameraman? This is Aliyu, where is he? He's hiding. Look at my bloody hair. Woo. Ready, I'm all set for this week, 6th of March edition of Liberty Global Reports.